everybody, welcome to the channel. It is October 6th, 2025. Let us tap right in and see what storyline Spirit would like to share with us. Collective energy, please, Spirit. Collective energy. Storyline for the collective, please. Storyline for the collective. What would you like the collective to know at this time, please, Spirit? All right. In the central energy. The Four of Swords. Something's been laid to rest. You could be planning for the future. You might be recuperating, taking a break. In the challenge position. The Knight of Cups. You might be taking a break from love offers. In the subconscious, we've got the Two of Swords. You could have, you might be avoiding it. You're avoiding romance. In the recent past, King of Cups. Intentions and expectations. Page of Cups. What, a diplomat? Huh. Might be, there's some happy surprise. The card says happy surprise. They may be surprised or happy about a new love, maybe. Take it as it resonates. Maybe he's overseeing. Okay, and we've got in the reverse here. So, yeah, he may be looking at these younger new love connections to make sure they're not deceptive. We've got deception on both sides of this thing. Somebody's rethinking their approach regarding this, the way they are here with this. Rethinking their approach. Somebody's rethinking their approach. But it is deceptive, it looks like. It's just, there's secrets in the lens that's being looked through. So, 10 of Wands reversed. They're rethinking their approach. They're burned out. They're overstressed. In the environment. Five of Cups. Failure and disappointment. Regret. hopes and fears. 10 of Pentacles. And the outcome. Eight of Cups. Disappointment. They were hoping for a 10 of Pentacles and instead they got disappointment. The Emperor has control of the 9 of Pentacles. The 9 of Pentacles goes to the Emperor. Or he's guarding it. Somebody's afraid. They're trying to think fast. They're charging ahead. They could have some kind of anxiety. This Magician is in a tower. So yeah, so they're kind of having anxiety. They might be rushing forward, trying to get stuff done. They're thinking fast. This is a Magician who's in a tower. They are losing everything because of the history, what they have done here with their magic or whatever. Glass water here in case any. So we've got the Four of Swords. Retreat, renewal, solitude. Recuperation. Let go. Letting go. You're laying something to rest. There's solitude here, making room for the new on its way to you now. In the challenge position, we do have a Knight of Cups. Proposal. You might be challenged by proposals. Whoa. There's a water sign who's lying. So there's a knight in shining armor, a water sign who's coming forward with a proposal, but they are a liar. You've let them go. They're coming in, trying to reattach. We've got in the subconscious, we've got, there could be some kind of an avoidance. You're avoiding intimate connections right now because of this, the stalkers that are out there trying to get into your energy. Distance. Yeah, you're keeping your distance. You may have a partner already who is at a distance from you. You're avoiding Prince Charming. Anybody coming in trying to hook up with you, you're like, you've already got somebody in mind and you just don't want to deal with this. And there could be proposals, like in plural, which could make it, you know, when you're one person and you've got these liars out here who want to attach themselves to you because they know that you've got a 10 of Pentacles coming in, and they keep coming in, asking, pawing, and they never stop. And when you say no, they get an attitude, and then they're throwing toxic energy and invisible darts. And so before you know it, you got all these masculines you know, trying to take you out energetically because they're just mad because you won't let them take part of your Ten of Pentacles. But you've already got, at a distance, a partner. Just because you're not present with each other currently doesn't mean that the connection doesn't exist. And you've got a bunch of folks here lying, trying to attach themselves to your Ten of Pentacles. And it's like, no matter how many times you say that you've already got stuff going on, they still try to be sneaky and lie and latch on. King of Cups, divorce. King of Cups is experiencing a breakup. Okay. Intentions and expectations. They might be expecting, they might be sending in youngers. Like, this is an adult King of Cups. You might have cut him off. You might have let him go because he's a water sign liar. Or maybe you recently cut him off, but you got a Knight of Cups who is a water sign liar coming in with a proposal, and you've got this King of Cups who you got divorced out of your energy and stuff. Their intention and expectation is to send in youngers, pages, a page, see what I mean? You've got the Knight of Cups, the King of Cups, the Page of Cups. They're all here, like, pushing in. It's like, why can't anybody just freaking relax and chill and stop? Just stop. It's so wild to me. Like, I don't go out there and say, ooh, I want that one, and then like push in hard and try to make their life miserable energetically or any other way because, you know, I have this weird thing in my head that is focused on them for some reason, even if they're not paying any attention to me. Like, I don't do that. And I don't understand why this is all happening. It's like God brings people together when people come into alignment, when they are ready for each other. But you got this game out here that these people are playing, you know. They see that you got Ten of Pentacles coming, but that's because you did the work and you came into alignment with yourself, and now you're ready to come into alignment with somebody else, but there's distance between you. And you're not taking any proposals. These people, I think what they're trying to do is like trick you. They'll be back. So King of Cups got divorced out of your energy. So the intention is to send in a Page of Cups so that they can get back in the energy, because this is a team of masculines. These proposals are lies. Knight of Cups. These proposals, these Prince Charming, freaking knight in shining armor proposals are lies. They're rethinking their approach here. See, they've been fighting with you, hurting you, trying to betraying you, and now they're rethinking their approach because they got kicked out of your energy. So it's wild. This is wild. Deception. Yeah, so they're rethinking their approach. They want this commitment. They need to attach themselves to your Ten of Pentacles so that they can then flip and copycat and replace you, because that's what they do. Because obviously we're still sharing space with these game players, liars. Ten of Wands reversed. You were doing it all. They want you to do it all. They could be burnt out because you released them. You've released your Ten of Wands heavy burden, which was them. You've let it go. You've let them go. You've released the 10 of Wands burden. You've let it go. And you will be traveling soon. And you will be traveling soon. And these ones are in regret. They are experiencing a failure. You released them. You're no longer carrying the burden of them. See, these guys don't like you. They don't like feminines. They don't. They just want your 10 of Pentacles. And they want you to wash their dirty underwear, cook them the meals that they want, and they want you cooking those meals for their buddies, 3 days in a row. Okay? Just go over there and do that. But you're the supply, and then they turn you into the slave also. So they turn their supply into a slave rather than a partner that they could grow more supply with. Yeah. So they're in regret. They failed, and they're in disappointment. We've got caution. They might want to use caution. You might want to use caution. They were spying on you and targeting you because of your 10 of Pentacles, because of your wealth, what you have coming. And you've got time here. So you're getting Pentacles and time, like last time. These ones have been complaining about that. You've got 1,000 years and a business, a beautiful partnership, land, family, security, time. Because of all the burdens that you were carrying for these ones, which you're no longer carrying. The Most High stripped that yoke off of you. So now they're in an 8 of Cups disappointment. 5 of Cups disappointment. 8 of Cups disappointment. They're trying to find out more information about what you got going on here. Caution, find out more information. So they're in regret and disappointment. They are suffering a loss because you cut them off. You're no longer carrying their 10 of Wands. There's 3 masculines out here who had you under a 10 of Wands. That's 30 freaking Wands. And they got friends. Challenges. So 8 of Cups, they're disappointed because you're walking away. They're getting left behind, and now they're having challenges. They got to carry their own. They got to carry their own burden. They gambled, and now we're starting a new cycle. They've got problems with addictions. They're bad with their finances. They couldn't steal it from you this time. They're trying to manifest you. But they're being told to move on. Someone is unavailable. It's a waste of time. It's over. So they're still trying to do magic on you, trying to get you back, but it's a waste of time. We've got open your heart and date night. So they're trying to do magic to get you to open your heart, but the universe says it's a waste of time. You're not available, but we've got open your heart, date night. So intuition, use your intuition, fire sign, and make sure you do your research. Because you could very well, either you've got an air sign out here that's a gold digger spying on you. They may want to move in with you, but it's like, no. No. You are having patience because you know that you're being targeted by third-party narcissists right now. They're challenged because this is ending, and you're going to be traveling soon, and they want desperately to get back in your energy and gain this commitment so they can hold on to you. Because look, all of the communications, they're having to eat their words. All of those love spells, all of the words that they uttered against you, all of them are going back to them. They have to eat their words. Those love spells are coming back on them. Pets. pets. So they may look, you know, at pregnancy. So they may look at feminine as nothing more than a pet, like a dog, a birthing person, somebody who has to go have a child because they can't. They may look at you as a pet, as a birthing person. They want to make a confession about a honeymoon health and guardian. So your health is protected. Yeah, somebody's making a confession regarding a honeymoon. But it looks like your person might be an earth sign. Take it as it resonates. Just take it as it resonates. So you're laying this last cycle to rest. And these masculines are very upset. They're trying to rope you back in to conflict. These personalities, they want to try to rope you back in to conflict. So they're willing to pretend, to lie. So you've let them go to make room for the new beginning that's on its way to you now. There's recuperation. You're choosing solitude. You're making plans for the future. And your compass. So you're making room for the new beginning that's on its way to you now. Your path is right here. There's a Knight of Cups offering a proposal, but this is a liar who is a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. They want to get on your damn path. But they're addicted. They've got addictions. So this is a person who can't control themselves. They're addicted to you. They're addicted to you carrying their heavy burden while they just go out and be irresponsible and party and, you know, do drugs and drink and then try to bring that into your environment and then flip you into South Node and put the energy of the addiction onto you so that they can take your love energy and all your pentacles and all your time and go have a great time. They're a liar. You're avoiding them. You've already got a partner that's at a distance, or maybe you are keeping your distance from these people because you already have connections. Privilege. You might be keeping your distance from these privileged, or you and your partner may be distant from each other. Both of you are coming into a path of privilege. You might be avoiding those who have statuses of privilege. King of Pentacles is getting divorced. They're experiencing, King of Cups is getting a divorce from a shining one. So King of Cups is experiencing a breakup with a shining one, a divorce. They've been cut out of the energy. They've been let go from your path. They're no longer on your path. So their intention and expectation is to send in a page that will offer you love so that they can get back in your energy. They're all connected. They're all part of a hive mind, these masculines. Tribe. They want to get this tribe back into your neighborhood, back into the territory. They have to do it with love. So these love offers need to be researched big time, thoroughly, and then verified many times. Because they're rethinking their approach. The betrayal, the deceit, you know, this trickery didn't work. They need this commitment. Things are getting serious. Here and now. Things are getting serious here and now. They may be, they're trying to rethink, how are they going to get you? They couldn't just destroy you, which really gave them a lot of pleasure when they were trying to do that, acting as though they were a King of Cups. They were a King of Cups, probably because they harvested the loving energy out of your shine, and you've let them go. Divorce them. They're no longer on your path, probably because they were pretending to be you. Whoever this person was part of this tribe, and they were obviously pretending to be you. Dressed up in your energy and doing things with your energetic signature as you. But you got divorced out of that energy. They got divorced out of that energy. You released them. You released that burden. There's 3 people here. King of Cups, Page of Cups, Knight of Cups. And you've released those 10 wands that they gave you. So that's 30 freaking wands from these 3 people. And you are traveling soon. You're going to be leaving soon. Expectation. You're expected somewhere. Somebody's holding a seat for you. Somebody's holding a seat for you. Somebody's expecting you. These ones have failed. They're in regret. We've got caution. Service. They're in regret because now you're using caution when it comes to providing services to people. You're no longer just handing it out, assuming that everybody has your best interest or the community's best interest at heart. These people were trickery and hurt people using intimate encounters and relationships as an excuse to dominate the energy and then take it, imbue it, and then just throw away the husk, that it came from. Kind of like a cob of corn, you peel off the outside and then you throw it away, and then you eat all the good stuff and then you throw away the core. I mean, it's like they treated you like a piece of freaking corn. They ate all your sweetness, all those kernels, all those little sweet kernels. They just munched them all down and then threw everything else away. The outside, the inside, they just took the good stuff. So now you're being cautious when it comes to providing services. You're looking at people and you're like looking at their heart. You're looking at their intention. You're looking at their energy. You're doing the research. Where did they come from? What did they do? What have they been doing consistently? You've got 10 of Pentacles and you've got time. Everything in divine timing. Give it time. So like you're giving it time. Before you share, it's like, and before you offer services, you are investigating and researching to see whether or not they are innocent. It could be that you're given 10 of Pentacles and the time because you were innocent of everything that they tried to make stick to you. They're disappointed with the 8 of Cups because they're getting left behind with all of those challenges that you were taking care of for them. Disconnect. 3 men. 3 men are being disconnected. Page of Cups, Knight of Cups, King of Cups. Disconnected. They got to go deal with their own challenges. You were carrying 30 freaking wands. So you were watched. You were watched. And once again, I'm going to pull this open just because I like to. So while this has all been going on, you were watched. And you were seen to be balanced, stable, and rational. Mindful. You are Arcana. They know you are, but they just wanted your things. And now this player is getting a messenger, getting a message. some kind of a promise to a driver. Invisible, important. What do we got here? So their status of importance is going to be made invisible, or they want you to be invisible. These masculines who are competing with you, they're very optimistic about the work that they've been doing. But they're afraid here because what? You're in your purpose. It's time for you to be in your purpose and take your spiritual throne. The old dominion is here to make sure that this transition goes well. They're here doing pest control, restoration. You know, there's a change here because you are being remembered. They martyred you. They martyred you. They martyred 2 people. And you're back. You didn't cut any deals with this explorer. You didn't sell your soul. You didn't make any agreements. You didn't cut any deals. You just did the work. You know what? You did the work. These people are out here horse playing around, trying to mess up your future. But that's only because, you know, so it's like the wealth follows the maternal line. You've got masculines out here who don't like the feminines. They love each other, which is good, fine. They're upset because the wealth follows the maternal line and they don't have a womb. So they compete with the mother for the wealth that they're not getting because they don't have a womb. They can't procreate. There's no family coming from them. There's no generational tree, right? And they're upset because the wealth belongs to the mother. She's here in service to the children, to the family. She's divvying it out as necessary, very responsibly. They were talking last night, I think, about a feminine's soul being worth $1 billion. She's got $1 billion soul, and they want it. But she didn't, what else did they say? They were persecuted, and they did not surrender. They did not give in. During the persecution, it's like their souls gained more value because they were so perseverant, resilient, and stubborn when it came to maintaining themselves. Their fight isn't with the mother. The fight is with God. They're mad at God because God gives the feminine the wealth so that she can divvy it out in service to the welfare and the well-being of what is necessary for the child to grow up and be the best version of itself. But these ones aren't interested in that. They want the wealth. And they're angry because they're wired different. See, this mother figure is wired to, you know, support and elevate the innocent into its greatest potential. But those who don't have a womb and don't actually bring forth life feel differently, right? They think that the feminine should just go ahead and birth them a child and then raise it themselves because that's the way that it is. And I don't know. I heard something the other day, one lifetime. It's like there's a place out there for these ones, but it's like there's one lifetime because they don't have a womb. They're not going to make a family tree. They've been putting that burden onto the divine feminine and then walking away with the spiritual inheritance that was supposed to go to the child and be utilized to raise the family and create a stable foundation and, you know, a healthy environment. But they didn't want that. They just wanted to tap into that spiritual account. Empathy in the zero, in the reverse. So you're preferring, you're what? Recuperating, you're resting in solitude. You're letting go of things, making room for the new beginning that's on its way to you now. This new path here is empathy in the reverse. I don't know what this is. I am open to seeing both sides of a situation. Somebody's here, they don't have any empathy for you. They're not open to seeing your side of a situation. Maybe you no longer care about this lying addict. Maybe you no longer have empathy for them because of what they've done to you. So you no longer have empathy for the lying water sign who's got addictions and they're addicted to you carrying their burden. They're addicted to you paying the karmic debt for their energy of addictions, alcoholism, drug addictions, you know, what do they call that? Debauchery. You were the one that was transmuting all of that karmic debt with your energy. Growth in consciousness and awareness. So they may have a growth. They're challenged because you no longer care. You've grown in consciousness and awareness. You know what they are and what they have done and what they want to continue to do. You are avoiding them at all costs. You're making difficult decisions with you and your partner could be making difficult decisions together. You may be privileged, or maybe you're making decisions together regarding privilege, doubt. You might be avoiding, you might be placing at a distance those people of privilege that you have doubt, that you doubt. King of Cups is here, experiencing a breakup with your shine. God said this was the end of their relationship with batteries. If they have been siphoning the essence and the energy and sustaining their own lives just by siphoning the life force out of people who shine, innocent, loving people, you know, scavenging and scarfing down their services and all of the wealth that it takes to manage, and then they just eat it up. They're addicted. They're freaking what do they call that? What do they call that? You can't get enough. Yeah. They're untrustworthy. You can't trust this King of Cups. They're getting a divorce from you, from your shine, from your light, because they're untrustworthy. They're not connected to God. Whoever this King of Cups is, I don't know where he's getting that love energy, probably from siphoning off of you. But they're not trustworthy. They're not connected to that inner voice. They may not have a soul. They're sending in a Page of Cups in order to try to get back into your energy. This Page of Cups is part of this tribe or part of this and this family or whatever. We've got humor in the reverse. They're not happy people. They're miserable people. You were handling their misery for them. You were this beautiful, happy person, and they put their misery onto you and forced you to carry that while they spent your 10 of Pentacles. You were innocent. So now they're rethinking their approach because the deception didn't work. The trickery didn't work. They're rethinking their approach. They want a commitment. Things are getting real serious here and now. Loneliness. Loneliness. Forgiveness. So you released that burden, that 31 burden, and you're going to be traveling soon. There's expectation here of a position, of a seat. Somebody may be expecting you. They're sitting there holding your chair. We've got forgiveness. It could be that you have been forgiven, that you were carrying 30 freaking wands for 3 masculines, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 feminines on this card. So you've got 3 masculines and, well, maybe 4 masculines and 5 feminines. They were all putting wands on you. Oh my gosh, that's 90 freaking wands. Were you carrying 10 wands for every member of this tribe? No wonder you're in a 4 of Swords energy. No wonder you're using caution when it comes to making any connections or contracts or agreements with anybody. You've been carrying 90 freaking wands for people, and you don't want to do that again. It's difficult enough being responsible for yourself, especially when you're trying to, it's like, you know, like the owner of the company that I work for, you know, we've got not very many employees, but he feels very responsible for their health and well-being because, you know, they have families, and he writes the check. He signs the check every 2 weeks. It's a heavy burden. And when you got employees that are coming in and they're bitching and complaining and they show up late and they screw up their work and they don't care, they eat other people's lunch, you know, that kind of stuff, makes it real hard. You know, when they have somebody else clock them in and they're not actually there, you got to pay them because nobody fessed up or whatever. Somebody's in regret because you're now using caution and doing research. You're finding out more information so that you don't overwork yourself. You're making sure that you're not hooking up with people who are going to take advantage of you and give you cruelty and hatred in exchange for your services. You're making certain that you're not doing that. And now they're disappointed because it's like there's no more just any old agreement. Come on in and let's collaborate and try to work together. Oh, no. Oh, no. There's qualifiers now. This service person, this innocent person, shining one, was carrying at least, well, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Could be 10, 11. A whole tribe. A whole tribe. Somebody's expecting you. You've got forgiveness because whatever these burdens were, whatever they layered you in, they covered you in the blame and the shame of their own filthy deeds. while they were out there partying and having a great time on your pentacles, on your energy. You're traveling soon. Somebody's expecting you. There is forgiveness here. These ones failed. They're disappointed. You're using caution and doing your research before you provide services because you want peace. You're releasing all of the negative energy. If anybody comes in and there's any kind of negative energy behind their intent or their request or their need, it's like a big fat no and disconnect. So you've got 10 of Pentacles here and you're getting more time. Everything in divine timing. You were innocent here. You might be dealing with the innocent. You are giving this wealth to people who are innocent. You're not giving it to people who are scam artists, you know, love bombers, people who want to come in and be whores. You're not accepting that anymore. Look, we got imagination in the reverse. You're making sure that nobody's tapping into the mental body, stealing intellectual property. Nobody's able to get into your mind anymore. You're going to make sure that you don't contract yourself with somebody who's going to be betray, and deceitful. Try to stick those freaking swords in you. They're upset. You're leaving them behind. They have to deal with their own challenges because they're getting disconnected from you. They got to go away. They're getting disconnected from you. This says, I can't always expect the truth from others, which you could not expect it from them. We've got liar right here. Liar and addiction. But you can expect it from yourself. So they're getting disconnected from the truth teller. The liars are getting disconnected from the truth tellers. You were carrying 10 of Wands burden. Each one of these people put 10 of Wands burden on you. And it's no wonder that you are the giant and that your light is so freaking bright. You had to, in order to survive that terrible burden. And look at you, you're still freaking shining and smiling. They're confused and in regret. They're feeling the guilt. They're in regret. There's nothing they can do about it. So there could be some friends here that are surrendering. You may have had some friends that are surrendering now because you persevered through this challenge and you're still grateful and thankful and full of love. Successful. You know that there's no greater gold than to love. So while you're I guess, as long as you know that there's no greater gold than to love and you're pouring it into yourself, I guess you can carry 90 freaking wands for men and all these women who hate you, who lie on you, who want this status of privilege so bad. They want to be seen as you, but they can't do what you do. They can't even manage their own freaking burden, let alone everybody's burden. They didn't work together to manage their burden. They worked together to destroy you with their burden. Now you don't care about them. You realize what they are. And they think you're a black heart, black soul because you don't want to give them you don't want to give it to them. You know, creation is about creation. This isn't a party. It's about creation and extending life generation after generation after generation. And if there are folks who don't want to participate in that and be responsible and assist in the process in a good way, then why are they here except to spend the money that's for? And what's the purpose in that? What's the purpose in it? It would be one thing if it was love, but it's not. It's jealousy, envy, hatred, addiction, lies, framing others, infidelity, cheating, pretending. There's a reunion. There's a reunion, and you no longer have empathy for these folks. So you are with your person, and neither of you have any empathy for these anymore because of what they did to you. What they did to you. Each person with their own 10 of Wands burden. They put upon you. You were here in service, and they just decided that you were the shit pile that they were going to release all their nastiness onto. Soul contract. They sabotaged their soul contract, this reflection. They don't get another one. You no longer care about them. They will never get your services back. That's the first thing God said. He said, never give it back. You will never give it back. That means your services will never be given back. Those 10 of Pentacles, it will never be given back. They will never be able to slip through again, because now you're being very, very cautious when it comes to supplying anybody with anything. And the whole thing will be watched very carefully because you've grown in consciousness and awareness, and you know what to look for. You know all about the saboteur. Hope. So you have grown in consciousness and awareness, and you know that this liar, look, this liar isn't, they're an addict. Okay, so you've grown in consciousness and awareness, and you know that this person does not have any hope. They don't have any hope for a loyal, loving, faithful union. They don't want that. That's not what they're here for. This is a liar. They're lying about it. They're addicted to your goods and services. They're addicted to you making their life okay. Right? You know, they don't have any, they don't, look, this is, I haven't given up on us yet, but this is in reverse. And maybe you have given up on them because you know all about them. You've grown in consciousness and awareness. It's been a long, long time of suffering. Apparently, when they were bragging, when they were still in the mood to brag about it and laugh about it, and they said it was thousands of years, and they were laughing about how funny it was. It was in the midst of my greatest suffering. They were really sticking it to me, laughing. So you're avoiding them. You're holding them off. You're like, look, my partner is, I've got my connection. There's privilege here that's having doubt because we've got reciprocity. They're having doubt because they're getting what they gave. King of Cups is getting divorced from your shine because they're untrustworthy and they're disconnected from the inner voice. They might not have a connection with God. I don't think they do. We've got unfinished business. They want to send in a Page of Cups to make an offer of a new love in order to get the tribe back in your energy. They're not happy. And they're having disagreements. For some reason, they feel entitled to your energy. They threw you away. They abandoned you, rejected you, and then shit all over you and left you there. And they kept piling more and more and more and more and more and more on. And then eventually you had to pour your love into yourself just so that you could try to transmute and freaking alchemize all that crap. They're rethinking their approach to commitment. Here and now, they are alone. They're alone. This is a third party. Here and now, they are alone. They're a third party enemy. They're rethinking their approach to commitment. Whoa. So you have given up all those wands that these third parties were making you carry for them. You put them down, and you're traveling soon. Somebody's expecting you. They're holding a chair for you, a position. We've got forgiveness, and we've got a connection has been mended. So there is, the truth has been discovered. Divine Mother stated that in the future you would be vindicated. Like all these lies and all this blame and shame that these people, all these burdens, all these 10 of Wands burdens that each one of these people were putting upon you and burying you under, it's now seen that, boy, they really tried to, you really had to get your shine on just to come up out of that. And now that you're no longer covered in all of that, your shine is so bright. They forced it on you, because not only were they keeping you buried under all of that nastiness, heaps and heaps and heaps of it, they were siphoning your energy. So they were sucking out the energy of you and burying you under all of that nastiness, and you had to like step up your energy production. They were taking the energy, so you had to step up the production of it 50% probably, and then more, because of everything that you were buried under. You had to alchemize it, transmute it, so that you could be loud and be seen by God when it was time. You did the work, and now you're shining so bright because they forced you to work extra hard to get your shine on so that you could transmute. And now that there's no need to transmute because they can't touch you anymore, it's like your shine is like, you're just big. Lot of work. You had to do the work. You had to get inside, and you had to pour your love into yourself, and you had to do the work. And you may not have known what you were doing, because these ones really tried to shut you down in every way that they could. And they were bragging about it, how fun it was. Somebody posted on my page, they knew who you were the whole time. They took everything from you intentionally. They think that the collective, or me, has a black heart, a double black heart. And that's just strange. Probably because of this whole thing, you know? Probably because if this is me, probably because I laid down the wands. And if it's you, then probably because you laid down, you're no longer carrying the burden. So now they think you have a black heart because you're not going to carry the load. And you're not going to give them your prize. So now they're mad. They think you're mean. These people are unworthy. They're unworthy. So they're in disappointment here with the Five of Cups, because you're using caution and you're doing research before you offer services. You're making certain that all the negative energy and those who are unworthy of those services are released. You are a being of love, and you're releasing all of the negative energy. You're going to be doing research. Anybody who comes to ask you for services or provisions, whoever you are, you're going to be doing your research, and you're going to be weeding out the unworthy. They can't have it. They will be let go and disconnected. Things are going to change in a big way. This is no longer a free-for-all theft fest. It's nasty what they did to the mothers, just because they would rather love each other. And because God said the wealth belongs to the mother and the innocent children. And these masculines, they were competing with the mother. There's so many. And I'm sorry, I'm not homophobic or none of that stuff, but there's some people out there that are real mean. And I've been in the astral spaces where some of these masculines wearing dresses were running brothels for virgins, forcing them to serve several men at once. Okay, so there's stuff. Not all of them are like that. Some of them are actual two-spirited people who actually have a very serious and sacred connection to Source. But this is a game that has been going on here, okay? trickery, habitual patterns, joking at people as they suffer because of their efforts, what they've been doing here for money. They're overwhelmed and stressed out about this. They want forgiveness. Their values were all about money, and they can't do anything about this commitment that you have now. They're in regret. They wish it had never happened. So when people come in, they will be interviewed, researched, and then that research will be verified more than once, probably by third parties, before these services and this wealth is released. Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's going to be safety guards put in place to make sure that this kind of thing doesn't happen again. Because I guess it kind of sneaks up on you. It snuck up on them, you know. Because we got really, really good actors and actresses out there who can pretend really, very, very, very well. They win Oscars and stuff. They get the Golden Globes and stuff, you know. And the little star on the sidewalk because they're so shiny. So you got your 10 of Pentacles here, this wealth and time, because you were innocent or because this is going to the innocent people. Those who have not been messing with the mind. Those who are not guilty of messing with the mind. Or maybe those who were guilty. So there's research here. Negative energies are being released. Those who were found unworthy. Those who were messing with the mind, trying to flip the minds of people who were guilty of doing that. So those who were trying to mess with the minds or into South Node of innocent children and such, who were guilty of that, they're going to be feeling the pain from the damage they've caused. The little child, they flipped their mind into South Node, suffering. Might have happened to you over and over again. Because apparently you went deeper than anybody thought you did, except for God. These ones are upset how he sent you in and how deep you were able to go and how much information you were able to discover. And how long you were able to stay in that space and hold those wands, those 10 wand burdens that everybody was laying on you. You went so deep with that burden. And they're getting left behind with their own challenges because they're getting disconnected from the truth teller. Yeah. So there could be a secret space. Or liars have to stay out of your space. Those who hold secrets need to stay out of your space. They're getting disconnected from your honesty, from the truth teller. Those who keep secrets have to stay out of your space. Those who were daydreaming of being seen as you are confused by your self-love and your nature to be responsible for families because they neglected you bad. An irreplaceable person. And now you're holding them back from soul ties because you survived. So they don't get a soul tie because of the way they treated them, how you know, all the information you were able to bring back. They're feeling broken and shattered because it's very clear they didn't appreciate the beauty of loving relationships. They only wanted money, and what they did was been revealed. They're running from the damage that they have caused. There's a lot of gossip, a lot of conversation going on. They might be chasing after you. Or maybe the chaser is being made absent, which is an unexpected outcome. Their destiny, they're getting detached from your destiny, from the destiny of inseparable love. They weren't satisfied with the way things were going, and they've missed their opportunity. This reflection has sabotaged their opportunity for a soul contract because they made mistakes and lied when it came to intimate encounters. They didn't take it seriously. It was all just pride. And now they don't know what to do because there's an understanding about the truth. And their shadow side. So now they're in regret because we've got a new chapter here. And it's for those who are dedicated to commitments. And it's too late for those whose values are all about money to do anything about it. They're in regret. So you're in solitude, you are recuperating, you are making room for the new beginning that's on its way to you now, this compass, this pathway for your reunion here. And you don't have any empathy for these people who are reaching out, trying to connect to you and your love. It's like, no, you're reunited with your sweetheart. You're both on your compass, on your pathway. And those who are reaching out, trying to connect, love is eluding them because you just don't care anymore. They destroyed the care that you had for them. With all this burden that they were putting you under, hurting you, you no longer care. We've got a Knight of Cups making a proposal, but this is a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, liar. They are an addict. They don't have hope for a reunion. Or maybe they don't have, there's no hope for them to get a reunion with you. There's no hope for them to connect to you. You've expanded in consciousness and awareness, and you see them for what they are. Empathy is in the reverse. You no longer care about them because they didn't have any hope. They don't have any hope for for this. They just want you to carry their burden, and you have come to that understanding. You know it now. Guilty. Pieces. You were always picking up the pieces when things fell apart. And now their life is in pieces. You know, they never had hope for this beautiful union. You've grown in consciousness and awareness. You know it. You can see it. You were always picking up the pieces for these guys. And you know what? You deserve something better than that. You were always picking up the damn pieces for all these people. I mean, you're here in service, but you're not here as a compost unit. You're not the toilet. They were treating you like a freaking toilet. And not just a water flushing toilet, but a hole, like a deep hole in the earth. And they just kept put you in the bottom of that and then kept crapping on you. They treated you like a freaking outhouse. Ignored your needs. They left you with nothing in the dark, and they laughed and thought it was so damn funny. You were here to help improve their lives, and they did everything they could to destroy you. And they thought it was so fun. And you didn't do anything to hurt them at all. You were here in service to the Most High God, sharing what it is that you had been led to do. It was supposed to be reciprocal, equal give and take. But they took everything from you, including your status of privilege, and they put you, and then they started calling you peasant, and you know, they stuck you in the bottom of that hole and just used you as a toilet. They thought you were going to be there forever. But now they're going to get reciprocity. They're going to get what they gave. Their needs won't be met. Their emotional needs, their physical needs. unless they can make it work. King of Cups is getting divorced out of your shine because they're untrustworthy. They're not connected to the divine. There's unfinished business here. And we've got alone in the reverse. You're not alone. You're no longer alone. You are no longer alone. There is unfinished business here. They're sending in a Page of Cups, trying to get back in your energy. This tribe, they're sending in a younger to come in and try to woo you and get a connection, right? They're in disagreements about what's happening here, and they don't think it's funny. Look, they're not telling the whole story. They've got secrets. They're in disagreement about what's happening here, and yet they're keeping secrets. They don't think this is funny. They're rethinking their approach. The trickery did not work. So they're rethinking their approach to commitment. Here and now, they are alone, these third parties. But it's like loneliness. I know that I'm never alone. Third party. There's third parties here and now. Rethinking their approach to commitment. Rocky. It's been a rough road for you. Rocky. Third parties have made your life real rocky. They must decide whether it's worth it to keep going. Third parties need to decide whether it's worth it to keep going. You have laid down all of those wands. You're not carrying it anymore, and you're traveling soon. Somebody's got expectations of your arrival. This connection has been mended, and forgiveness is here for you. Forgiveness twice. So they have failed. And they're disappointed because now you're going to find out more information. You're not going to overwork yourself this time. You're going to make certain that those people who you provide services to are good people. And they're not out here to thieve, cheat, steal, and harm you in order to take all of it and then be you. You're not playing that game again. Those who are unworthy are being released because they have negative energy. We're going to move into a time of peace because you're a being of love and you didn't deserve to be treated like this. You are peace. You are love. You are innocent. And you're capable of loving so purely and carrying all those wands, being treated like a toilet by all those people. And you didn't quit. You didn't surrender. You did not cede, C-E-D-E, your life, your soul, your position. Or your connection with God. They were the ones who kind of tried to break that bridge. Hard. Things are difficult now. So these ones, who have negative energies are unworthy, they made things very, very difficult for this diamond. So, if they did that, then they're being released. 10 of Pentacles and time, giving it time. Everything in divine timing. Everything has to come into alignment. There must be research and there must be verification of that research to ensure that everybody who's coming together or anybody who's receiving anything is ready for it and not just faking it. Somebody's grieving because because given time, you're innocent. We've got imagination in the reverse. So somebody's disconnected from your imagination because they were guilty from causing damage there. They're grieving. It did not work out the way that they had planned. They're being disconnected from your mind. They could be losing their ability to have telepathic communications because they misused their gift. And they caused harm to people in the mental body, trying to drive them into some failure. You no longer care. Your empathy is in the reverse. Empathy has turned to apathy because you have grown in consciousness and awareness and you know what they did to you. And how much fun they had doing it to you. And it's interesting, you know, they tried to get the victims of these kinds of circumstances convicted of being malicious or violent, or have the need for revenge, right? They would push people into like a puddle, a piss puddle on the floor of weakness, or somebody who is just raging with the desire to go beat the hell out of them because they're so freaking brutal, right? So they either wanted you in a pile of mush on the floor, just sobbing, 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 never able to put yourself back together, or in a complete out of control rage. And they could present both of these things to God and say, look, they can't handle themselves. And, you know, but with all of the tremendous, you know, like I said, you laid them all down, but you've got 5 women, and you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, potentially 8 men. So congratulations. That's a heavy burden and a deep, dark well of poop that you had to transmute. Everything that you no longer need is falling away to make room for the love that you deserve. Those who keep secrets need to stay out of your space. This is a time for honesty. All others are being disconnected, and they're going to go have a long road of neglect. Because the free ride, these playing games with love, this tempting people with the snake, it's ending. This childish, crazy drama is leaving. Or maybe you're leaving this childish, crazy drama behind. The guilty of cheating and lying and stealing are going under. And they're looking for, the dark side is looking for an exit plan. So be wary, because they're trying to escape. Another notch in the headboard. They put a lot of folks there trying to escape, but they lost. They got caught up in a whirlwind, a blind spot, and they're tangled up in that web, and they're unable to free themselves. And you're being very, very aggressive, or somebody is, and everything is crumbling. Everything is crumbling. God is tearing it apart. He knows what they've done to his family. How funny they thought it was. And you know what he said also? He said, those who hate me can look me in the face. That's what he said. And you know, that's the great thing. Because when I was matchy, before I was able to begin preparing to move into this home, I was matchy by God. And he didn't show me his face. He let me live, you know. But those who hate him apparently can look him in the face and just go ahead and die. I don't know. Take it as it resonates. I'm just grateful that he can see me. And that was one of the things. I was like, oh gosh, I got to be super loud. So I was like I was focusing on making my mind reach the edges of the limitless numbers of universes. I'm like, obviously, because I've been praying for like over 20 years, and I'm like, look, I gotta get some answers. So I had to like try to reach out as far as I could, you know, mentally with my prayers. And like you here, you know, I had to really work on getting my shine up, because there was so much darkness being dumped on me. Death energy and such. You're choosing solitude and recuperation. You're making room for the beginning that's on its way to you now. You are letting go of that which does not serve you. You are reunited with your honey bunny here, and you got a new compass. You no longer care about the liars who have been swindling you. They are trying to connect to you, but love is eluding them because you no longer care. They're overloaded and overwhelmed. You no longer care. It's like, I don't know how many knives they put in you or how many knives they truly put in me, but I know that it was many because I was awake for several of them, you know? Everybody wanted to stick a knife in it. Everybody. So this Knight of Cups, Prince Charming, is a lying water sign. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, they don't hope to have a union with you. They don't want that at all. They're just addicted and they need somebody to take care of them. You've grown in consciousness and awareness, and you were always picking up the pieces. You know that, and now their life is falling apart. Look, you've grown in consciousness and awareness. You've got that white halo and that powerful yellow solar plexus energy. You developed it. You had to. Self-preservation. Look at you. You're glowing. You're avoiding this liar, and you and your partner may be at a distance from each other, but it could be that you are reciprocal with each other, like equally shared. Or maybe you're just delivering reciprocity to these privileged people who were ignoring the needs of those that they were targeting. There's doubt here and marriage in the reverse. There's no more marriage, or there's no marriage. Somebody has doubt, needs, marriage in the reverse, reciprocity, overloaded. These ones aren't taking part in the marriage. You're releasing them from a contract. You're no longer serving them. You're releasing the negative energy. You're disconnecting these masculines and those feminines. You're no longer holding a contract with them. There was no sweet love, and there's not going to be any more dependency. They're not going to be able to depend on you. Like, you're divorced out of that family. You got a new family tree. That's what the Divine Mother in one of her aspects stated. She said, they lost their wish come true when they came for you, and you get a new family tree. They're exiled, they're divorced out of your energy, out of your shine. They're untrustworthy. They're not connected to God anymore. They may have been, God may have cut them off. They're disconnected from God's family for the way they treated you and for the way they allowed innocents to be treated. There's unfinished business here. You are not alone. You're not alone because you weren't tempted. You never took any bribes. You weren't involved in this. You're not alone, and nobody's tempted to Judas you. Like, there's nobody that's going to Judas you. There is a Page of Cups here trying to offer new love in order to get this tribe back in your energy. They don't think this is funny. They're having disagreements. They're hiding secrets. They're not telling the whole story. They don't think this is funny. This fate. Secrets. So it could be secrets. They may not be able to actually do any fortune telling on you. Maybe your fortune is a secret. They're rethinking their approach. The betrayal and trickery did not work. Keeping secrets again. Regarding commitments, here and now, they've got loneliness, but they know they're never alone. This is a third party that has, that might be on a rocky road. They have to decide whether it's worth it to keep going. This thief attempt. and commitment. Your commitment. So the third party, it has been a rough road for you. You must decide whether it's worth it to keep going with this robbery commitment, this commitment to stealing from people. Being unfair. You've laid down those wands. You're traveling soon. Somebody is expecting you. The connection has been mended. We've got forgiveness here twice. It's like there's double forgiveness for you. It's very obvious what has been going on here. And we've got death. It says over. It's end. It's the end. It's the inevitable ending. There could be death too. There might be, they're talking about this strange, like mass exterminate, whatever they call that, extinction event. There could be death. This is how it may work. Like the life here may be like, you know, reset, obliterated. The flesh temples may actually, you know, be, experience a nuclear fission or some kind of particle event. You've laid down the burdens. You're going to be traveling soon. There's expectations. We've got mended connection and forgiveness, and we've got forgiveness. It could be too, though, that your connection has been mended, that there is forgiveness because it's seen very clearly what these ones did. And it could very well be that those third parties here that were trying to rob you and stick you with this funky, you know, burden again, it could be that they want your forgiveness, that it's over. So take it as it resonates, because yeah, here it is. They're suffering loss. They're suffering loss because God pulled you up out of that shithole that they had you in with magic. So yeah, there's death here. It's over. So the burden is down. You're leaving it behind. Expectation. You're coming to be there soon. There's been forgiveness and a fix of that. They didn't mean to hurt you, but you are holding on to it. Death. Let it go, let it go, let it go. So there is a separation here. You're going to be moving into a new thing. You're traveling soon. You've released the burden, and this whole thing is over. They say they didn't mean to hurt you, but that's a lie. They actually had a very serious goal that they were seriously driving for. And they're still serious about it. But they're experiencing a loss, damages, they're sorry, there's death, everything's falling apart, they're failed, they're in regret. You're using more caution. You're finding out if you're going to do a lot more research before you allow anybody to come in and enjoy your services again. Those people who have negative energy and have made things very, very hard for shining ones have been found unworthy. They're going to be released. Yeah, because you're not playing games anymore. You're not just going to believe people. Yeah, these mask wearers that have been making things very, very hard for shining people, they have negative energy and they're found unworthy. You're doing your research to see if that is what they are. If they are this. Wearing masks. And if they are, they're going to be disconnected and released. You're not serving them. So there's an investigation happening, and people are very, very mad because they're getting cast away. They're homeless. They've been accustomed to living on your wealth, that wealth that they stole, that wealth that they took from you. And they saying that they're going to do it again with this extinction event. You know, they're like harvesting, and then everybody's going to go to their new home, I guess. You got people out there asking about model numbers, but there's a few of you out there that are original beings, human beings, and these ones, there's a lot of them that thought that you were a myth because they thought that everybody had been genetically modified. You know, having mixed DNA. So you got the Ten of Pentacles here, and you've got give it time, everything in divine timing. Things are flowing. You're innocent, and we've got imagination in the reverse. There's no more telepathic communication with those who are guilty of causing you pain and damage. They're grieving. It didn't work out the way that they had expected. They're frustrated. They are being promised natural disaster. They're grieving. They got to go deal with this natural disaster that you had to rise up out of. This is their future. Because there's evidence of what they've done. And they're guilty. There's a lot of research. You're walking away. You're leaving them behind. They have to go deal with their own challenges now. They got to go work on inner healing. They're being disconnected from you and your services. You're no longer carrying their imbalance and their unwillingness to even try to come into balance. So they're being disconnected from the truth tellers. Those who keep secrets and tell lies need to stay out of your space. Everything that you no longer need is falling away to make room for the love that you deserve. These people's lives are in ruins. Everything that they took from you is being returned to you. You were innocent. You didn't do anything to hurt these people. All you did was serve them and then be hurt by them, punished by them, damaged by them. You know, they spit upon you, crap upon you, and they laugh and they think it's funny. And they really do think that they're going to wipe everybody out and that they're just going to claim all of the souls and then, you know, put them in these synthetic bodies, model number, you know, claim the soul and the energy. We've got dominate. So this dominator, the things you no longer need or making room for the love that you deserve. Marionette, ruins. These dominators, those who are dominating you, they're in ruins. Their life is in ruins. And it could be that they have to go be dominated now. Because you reached your goals. Because you've reached your goals. Yeah. So the dominators are in ruins. Their life's in ruins. You're no longer part of the family. You're no longer part of the family. There was a divorce. You're no longer part of the family, and they're sending in love offers, you know, Knight of Cups, Page of Cups. A third party committed to robbing you. They're right here and now. Rethinking their approach, trying to gain a commitment out of you so that they can make your life rocky. Yeah. So you're not dealing with this shadow demon anymore. They can't snack on you. They're trying to reconnect, but love is eluding them because you don't have any empathy for them. They're in overwhelm because you are reunited with your sweetheart on this new path. And you're letting go of everything that was before it. Prince Charming is here, but this is a water sign who is a liar. They don't have hope for a faithful, loyal union with you. They're addicted to you carrying their crap. You have grown in consciousness and awareness. You always pick up the pieces from these people, and you have grown. You've got a, look, vampire. You got a vampire, man. A vampire wants to eat your energy. A vampire wants to eat your energy. So they've lost their starseed. There's no more marriage. They did not meet your needs. They will be dealing with everything that they placed upon you. All that freaking 90 wands or however many wands you had to carry over how many centuries, whatever. You weren't tempted. You're not alone. Nobody's Judasing you. You're getting divorced out of this, they're getting divorced out of your shine, and they're told to stay in their own lane. You weren't tempted. You were not tempted. You didn't take any bribes. You didn't sell your soul. You did not surrender. You did not give in. You never did cross the line and get involved in this mess. You just got buried under all the crap and blamed for it. So your destiny is secret now. These ones, this troll is upset. They're trying to troll. They're trying to troll your fate. They might be pulling cards on you, trolling you. But it could be secret also. They're rethinking their approach, trying to get a commitment. Here and now, they are lonely. This third party is making things rocky for you, trying to rob you. They're committed to it. And they're triggered. They could be bound to their contract, their commitment, trying to rob you, and they're triggered because you laid down that 10 of Wands and you're leaving soon. Somebody is expecting you. The connection has been mended, and there's forgiveness. And these ones are being let go. They say they didn't mean to hurt you, but that is anything other than the truth. This is over. There's death and loss for these ones. And there could be death and loss for everybody, but that just means that you're moving into your new chapter. Obviously, this is what's going on. Simp. So the simp, there's death and loss for the simp. Forgiveness simply means that they are being released. You're releasing them. You're releasing them. You're no longer dealing with that. You're leaving soon. You're releasing the simp. They have lost. They're disappointed because you're definitely going to do more information. You're going to do some research, and then you're going to verify, and then you're going to go do some more research and some more research and re-verify. Because you know that there's people out there and they got many, many masks who have made it very, very difficult for shining ones. And God's not happy. Their fight was always with God, you know, but those who carry the essence of the sun within them, those who have this beautiful shine of happiness and love in them, you know, they kind of belong to that family. Trauma bond. You could have been trauma bonded with a mask wearer, with a pretender. They were making things very hard for you with this trauma bond. So those who were wearing masks, making things hard with a trauma bond, they've been found unworthy, and that negative energy is being released because you are here in service to the collective, and your job is to restore peace and safety and, you know, joy, happiness, settled energy, where you don't have to, you know, look around the corner because there might be one of these mask wearers waiting there with their freaking machete or something. Pink machete. I can't stop thinking about that. So at 10 of Pentacles, give it time. You may have a whole bunch of pentacles and time because you're innocent. Those who are guilty of messing with your mind are disconnected from your mind and perhaps everybody else's mind because there's evidence of what they have done here to your mind. They're grieving. It did not work out the way that they had imagined. They are promised natural disasters because there's evidence of what they have done to you. Conspiracy theories. They lied. Everything was a freaking lie. And it's being announced. It could be announced. You're an influencer. Maybe they're jealous of you. They certainly are disappointed because you're leaving them behind and letting them face their own challenges. They're getting disconnected from the truth teller. They were lying, keeping secrets, and telling, you know, lies to others. They weren't telling the truth. So now they got to stay out of your space. The things you no longer need are falling away to make room for the love that you deserve. And that is this dictatorship. This dictatorship. They are in ruins. There are ruins for the marionette. Billionaire. Billionaire. Dominator. Billionaire. There could be a dominator billionaire fashion witch that is in ruins right now. Yeah. There's a billionaire fashion witch dominator. Puppet master who is in ruins because they've been disconnected from you and your self-care. They can't, you're no longer at the bottom of that outhouse in that pit. They can't crap on you anymore. And you've released all those burdens, and now these jealous people are being warned, I guess, by the influencer podcast. Maybe it's being announced that this narcissist is messing with the oracle, or maybe the oracle is a, what do we got here? Podcast influencer oracle. There could be a narcissist who is out there as an influencer trying to tell stories about an oracle. This person of privilege might try to pose as a unicorn, but they may be a cult leader. Oh, bitch. Cult leader, serving a cult leader, they do the very least to gain the very most. They may think you're a bitch. They may be a bitch. They may think you're a bitch because you're an empath and you took the land back from them. This feral person was snacking on you. All of your goods and services, they were stacking on you, but you're a legend and you're telling them to just go get F. Go F off. Go F off. We don't need any more of that love bombing, gaslighting bullpucky here. And they're triggered. They're so triggered. Triggered. Well, this is another long one. It certainly is. But I'm just going to pull one of these because we're already at 1 hour and 43 minutes. And you know we got the fast forward button. Pull a little bit more. Yeah. Shadow demon is in the reverse. They're overloaded. You no longer care about them. They're trying to connect, but you're not having anything to do with it. They're in a 5 of Pentacles. They've lost everything. You've let them go. You've let them go. There's a divorce. You're no longer married. You're no longer part of that family. They've lost their starseed. They've lost their earth angel. They've lost the one who is here to be in service to them. The one that they decided to brutalize and treat like shit. It's like, you know, these ones, these narcissists and whatnot, you know, it's like the nicer you are and the more you love them and the more you give them, the meaner they get, the more they despise you, the greater they just want to stomp you out. But when you stop giving to them, then they get even more agitated. And I think it's because they can't take out that energy on you anymore. It's like you're not around, so, and you cut the cord, so they can't even send you their negative thoughts and stuff. I mean, they could try, but so this vampire has a really great idea, or this vampire was vampiring you and your light, working real hard. Maybe now you've grown and expanded in consciousness and awareness regarding this vampire, this liar, this love bombing, you know, intimate encounter, relationship vampire, and the transference of karma and sin and, you know, tapping into having children just so you can tap into their spiritual account and drain it of its wealth. I mean, this is a freaking vampiric system that they had rigged up here. And yeah, so you've got a great idea here. Look at this. You're very ambitious. 8 of Pentacles. You got a new job. You've expanded in consciousness and awareness. You were always picking up the pieces for these people. You've been working real hard, shining brightly. And Seven of Pentacles, your hard work is going to pay off. Your hard work is paying off. You dealt with this vampire for a long time. You know the truth of it. They don't want a relationship with you. They're just addicted to your energy, man. And you know the sad thing is, I suppose, is that you've got all these people out here addicted to your vibrant energy and your ability to transmute and alchemize their crap, you know, and make their life worth living while they're spending all your pentacles and your time. Why did they do it like that? Well, because they're vampires. They're low vibrational. They're not high vibrational. They can't see. They can only need, I guess. So you're avoiding them. It's like, hey, stay away. I got my stuff going on. And those of privilege are going to get a reciprocity. That which they forced you to carry, it's all going back on them. You are divorced out of that family. They have lost their starseed. They're having doubt now because they're worried about their needs. Sacrifice. There's no marriage. There's no starseed. They may want to unalive a starseed. Or a starseed has let them go. Seen from a new perspective. Grown in consciousness and awareness. Divorced. Right here. Divorced that King of Cups. Because they're not trustworthy and they're not connected to the divine. There's unfinished business here. You are no longer alone. You did not take the bribe. You weren't tempted. God said everybody had to be tested. You, Shining One, did not take the bribe. No matter how many Ten of Wands burdens you were under, and no matter how much blame and shame you were buried in while you were in that pit, you did not take the bribe. You did not flip. You did not take advantage of an opportunity to make your life better. You didn't go there. You stayed in your own lane. Or this King of Cups and all these other people are being told to stay in their own lane. You're exhausted. Four of Swords in the reverse. From dealing with this, you want these people to stay away from you. Stay in your own lane. But you've got Page of Cups here wanting to come in, making it a love offer in order to expect to hear from them soon. They'll be back. They want to get this tribe back in your energy. They do not think this is funny. They're having disagreements. We've got secrets over your fate. Fortune telling. It could be that whatever this troll is, or whoever this troll is that's trying to troll you, it can't get accurate information about your fate. Somebody is trolling you. They're trolling you. Look, we've got three. Look, there's a celebration here. This troll is watching you celebrate. They're not happy. They're rethinking their approach to commitment here and now. We've got loneliness, but I know that I'm never alone. This third party is making life very rocky for you, or they have, or they want to here in the near future. We've got robbery, commitment, and triggered. They're committed to robbing you. This third party, they are committed to robbing you. So now, again, we've got Knight of Wands. You got a Knight of Cups, liar over here. And you've got a Knight of Wands, triggered, third-party enemy here, committed to robbing you. Like they don't want to give up. But you've released those damn burdens. You're like burned out. You're like, I'm done. I'm so done, you know? And you're traveling soon because there's been forgiveness and you have mended your connection because you did not take any bribes. You didn't buy into this. You didn't want, just because they covered you in the filth of it didn't mean you participated or approved of it, you know? And that's what happens, I guess. So anyway, these ones, you are forgiving them, which means you're releasing them. So There's death and loss for a simp. Death and loss for a simp. We've got sickness and injury, 9 of Wands. Sickness and injury, 9 of Wands for a simp. You have released them. There's loss and death. Endings. Because you're leaving. You've been forgiven and you've fixed your connection. You are reunited here. And people got to stay away from you. Apparently you're off limits. It's forbidden to mess with you. You're going to do your research before you offer services to anybody anymore, because you've got some unworthy mask wearers here that were making things real hard for diamonds, trauma bonded them, and these negative energies are being released because you are here in service to create a peaceful, safe environment for families and children. And you got some people out here who just wanted to whack you in the head and say, no, you know, they want war. They want war, they want violence, and they want what you have, and they feel that because they're bigger and stronger and that they can just take it, and there's nothing you can do. We've got 8 of Swords in the reverse. Release. You're free. Release. So you're releasing these ones. These trauma bonded mask wearers who made life hard on a diamond, or the shining ones, have been found unworthy of your services. You're going to find out. You're going to do your research. You're going to know, and you're going to be looking at all that history, and you're going to be saying, look, no, can't be here right now. There's a big separation happening. You've got your 10 of Pentacles, and you're doing everything in divine timing. Give it time. You could have Pentacles and time. You are innocent of the conspiracy theories that they were telling you about you. So they're getting cut out of the telepathy land, out of your mental body. There's evidence of the things that they did to hurt you. Proof of their guilt. And they're grieving. It did not work out the way that they had planned. And they're getting promised a natural disaster. Natural disaster. We got 9 of Pentacles in the reverse. Deceit, failure, lack of funds. And we've got the 5 of Cups. Sadness, regret, focus on failure. Research, proof, evidence. Leaving them behind to handle their own challenges. They're being disconnected from the truth tellers, from those who are telling the truth the whole damn time. These little liars got to stay out of your space. They are in ruins. This dominator is a fashion witch billionaire, but everything that you no longer need is falling away to make room for the love that you deserve. So whatever this dominator, tyrant, dictator, fashion witch billionaire has, it's all in ruins. They're getting, because they got disconnected from you. Page of Wands. A new journey. Somebody may be fearless. 4 of Cups. Maybe you are enthusiastic because maybe you're getting maybe you are the billionaire. Maybe they tried to dominate you, because this fashion witch tried to dominate you because you are the billionaire, and you're getting a new beginning. Yeah, so this dominator fashion witch is in ruins. Everything's falling away to make room for the love that you deserve, because these ones have been playing games with you for so long. You could be a billionaire soon. They've been talking about a billionaire. They said the other day that somebody's soul is a billionaire soul. So your soul is like a billionaire value, is way out there. And you got a new journey here. Confident. So they tried to dominate you because you're a billionaire. Your soul is worth $1 billion. You're like, your soul, you've got so much value that you have done so much work, diving so deep, far deeper than these enemies even thought that you went. And then you get to go all the way back, pendulum swing, bop, and you get to go up, up, up. Somebody is expecting you. You've added so much value to your soul with the things that you had to learn and do in order to come up out of that. You're going to get the love you deserve. Yeah. It's apathy. So you no longer care. Like this, empathy in the reverse. You no longer care about this scenario. You no longer care about their desire for commitment. You no longer cared about their triggered, emotional mess. You just don't care about it. Because they never, ever, ever cared about you. They still don't. They don't even care about themselves. They don't care enough about themselves to do the work to add value to the soul. They just wanted to take yours. But you don't care about them anymore, and they're really upset about that. King of Wands is a natural leader, overcoming challenges, and has got the sun here as celebration. Celebration and new love. New love. But yeah, he could be a magician, or he is manifesting new love with the High Priestess. There you go. All right. I hope that this clarifies something that you already intuitively knew. And I'll see you on the next one, everybody. Bye.